3. Technology element. Transaction T is completed after the checkpoint is processed, and then the system failure occurs. Which of the following is the recovery technique that is used for restoring the database to state just after the completion of the transaction T? Here, in addition to the checkpoint, transaction log is also available. We have A. Two-phase locking, B. Rollback, C. Transaction scheduling, and D. Roll forward. For a database recovery process, a log is stored in the database management system. In this log, starting point of transaction, information before the data is updated, and information after the update are recorded. Moreover, by setting the checkpoint and generating a log, a transaction identifier, information for identifying the transaction under execution is generated, and then changes made up to that point in time are written to the database. As the checkpoint is obtained when transaction T is running, changes made up to obtaining the checkpoint are written on the database. Therefore, in order to restore the database to the point right after the completion of the transaction T, it is necessary to rerun the process from the checkpoint recorded in the redo log until the completion of the transaction, and then write the result to the database. Therefore, D is the correct answer. So here we had the roll forward technique for recovery being used. So let's have a look at some of the other options we had in our question. In A, a two-phase locking, 2PL, is divided into two phases, namely the phase where locks are acquired, a growing phase, and a phase where locks are removed, a shrinking phase. In the case that a transaction needs multiple locks, instead of locking and unlocking each time to maintain consistency after the lock is applied, it is necessary to keep the lock until the writing is complete. B. Rollback is a recovery technique for the restoration of the database to the state prior to the transaction by using the undo log. And in C, transaction scheduling decides the execution sequence of transactions and lock granularity so that deadlock or inconsistency of update does not occur. Two-phase locking in A is also a type of transaction scheduling. So finally, the answer is D. Here what we've looked at is some techniques for restoring databases as well as other such functions.